better? It's still way too loud. Sorry. Okay. Just the audio real quick. Alright. This should hopefully not be too loud. Anybody? That's some subtle piano underneath everything. Cool. Awesome. So anyway, welcome. I'm just gonna be doing a little sleep review. That's realizing how to put on loop right now. Yeah, so basically, if you've never joined me before, I live stream my sleep apnea treatment, and that's what you're seeing behind me right now is the replay of the live stream. And yeah, here on TikTok Live, I go over the footage, discuss how I slept, put some data to the, put some basically data to the image. Hey, dummy. Yeah. Do I have sound playing while I'm sleeping? Yeah. I use noise canceling headphones, the AirPods. Oh, Jay, thank you for the follow. Yeah. Basically, I'm listening to a YouTube playlist of two people talking about Star Trek Next Generation. So it's the kind of like this soothing. Monkey Tamer asks, "Is it important to get an expensive mask?" I wouldn't say expensive. Well, obviously you want the mask to be affordable because you will go through them. They do wear out, so get a good mask and also like get something that you're well, depending on how your supplies are given to you, you want to get masks that are well, replenishable. So, for example, if your sleep doctor gives you one mask and they send you a new one every 3 months, and then you got out of pocket get your own mask that you think is better, then you're gonna keep paying out of pocket, and your doctor's gonna keep sending you the old mask that you don't want. So again, it's probably more important to work with your sleep doctor to coordinate which mask is best for you and go from there. Yeah, I wouldn't just go out of pocket to try all different kinds of masks. That's probably not the best way to go about it. Again, I'm telling you the perspective from the U.S. health insurance system, so that's obviously it's a big joke and obviously not ideal for anybody. All right, thank you all for the questions right off the bat. And everyone's just joining me the first time, welcome. Basically, how this works is I live stream my sleep apnea treatment, so that's what you're seeing. What's behind me right now, and also, well, here on TikTok Live, I go over the footage and answer any questions you might have about sleep apnea. So, with that said, I'm gonna go over last night. So let's look at some stats from last night. First, I'm gonna look at my sleep tracker. All right, sleep tracker said I got 8 hours, which was, I mean, I'll take that. I mean, it's possible I got 8.5 hours, but I usually round up if I suspect that I'm getting shortchanged on sleep. But who knows? I usually find some time, like let's say the sleep tracker doesn't kick in right away in the beginning of the night. Sorry, I'm a little thirsty, a little bit dry now. All right, so let me just make sure it's visible. Okay, cool. Nope, that's not visible. Maybe I'll do this, like that, and basically just make sure you can see the times. Okay, cool. All right. So what you're gonna see in this little timeline is the different sleep stages I'm in. throughout the night. So basically, the first thing we'll look for is what time I actually fell asleep. So according to my sleep tracker, I fell asleep at 12:43, and I'm gonna want to fact check that because it's possible I fell asleep earlier. Cool. So let's go back to. I'm not gonna go to time lapse. I'm just actually go to this is real time, so real time ish. I'm gonna fast forward. Don't worry, you're not gonna have to sit through 8 hours of this. All right. So what time did I actually get into bed? I actually got into bed 12:06. Now here's my getting ready ritual. I hook up the mask. I have to make sure the seal is good. I run a fit check, and if the fit's good, I unhook the mask and then put on a couple more things. Put on a chin strap, then put on my noise canceling headphones, and then I put the eye mask on, and then click the hose in. Once I click the hose in, I'm basically ready for bed. So, yep. So 12:08. Okay, so back to the sleep tracking data real quick. So it said I fell asleep at 12:43, or at least that's the first sleep it detects. So we're gonna see exactly how long it takes me to fall asleep. So according to my sleep tracker, it took maybe what, half an hour to fall asleep. So it's gonna be. Can I stop the music? Yep. Sorry. Usually I have some music playing on underneath this, so it's not just me talking over silence. Anyway, cool. All right, so a couple big rules of sleep hygiene or tips to get healthy sleep that I break right away. Do not have your electronics in bed. So my phone is way too accessible. Um, yeah. Well, I'm only human. I can only resist. That's called. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. All right. Cool. So, well, all right. So I spent like 8 minutes, 10 minutes on my phone, and then I kind of like pulled the eye mask down and up, back on my phone. Hey, Dami, what's something in my journey that helped me the most? Actually, you know what? I kind of figured out that this. I've been live streaming my sleep apnea treatment for 3 years, and I've been treating my sleep apnea for 6 years. I feel like the live stream was actually sort of a turning point because um, basically before it was I would have decent usage with the machine, but I would just like never get good sleep, and then like still like I would still have issues with the mask, like taking it off and stuff like that. But once I started recording it and like being able to rewatch each night, I was able to figure out Matt last. Thank you for the follow. I'll be able to figure out like what like sabotages my sleep, and a lot of times it's like little things that I do, and um, the other like the things I've added on to my treatment, I figured out through the live streaming and the recording. So basically, the noise canceling headphones, I figured out that a lot of times I would wake up in the middle of the night because of passing trains or planes, and even though they're not particularly loud, they're sustained, so it's like a noise that's just like for like 2 whole minutes, and that's like enough to wake me up. So I ordered noise canceling headphones, and I don't wake up from passing trains anymore. So that's something pretty good. Um, the biggest trouble a lot of people have with uh, getting used to sleep apnea treatment is taking the mask off. Hey, John, good to see you. And that's one thing I've caught myself doing, and I've figured out some ways. And basically, right now I have like so many layers on top of the mask that it's pretty hard for me to actually unconsciously take the mask off. All right, so I was basically on my phone. Lucky Tamer, what do I smell? Nothing. It's just the air filter. When I'm sick, sometimes, okay, sometimes when I'm sick, like I had the flu like 3 weeks ago, I would put Vicks vapor rub like right inside the mask, so every time I got some air. Just had some like a tiny little, barely a pea-sized drop of Vicks Vapor Rub in the mask. So that's maybe the only thing I would indulge. Okay, cool. So sleep tracker said 12:40. What? 12:43? Yeah, makes sense because I was basically on my phone and for like half an hour. So it's been half an hour into my recording, and it's, yeah, still on my phone. So 43. Okay, so right around here is when I fall asleep. Yeah, you're looking to find the right pillow. So, uh, my recommendations for pillows, I like buckwheat pillows. Mentom, I was in my 30s when I was diagnosed, but I must have had sleep apnea for decades, possibly. So, Dami, the type of pillow I like is buckwheat. The particular band I bought was from Hello. I'll show you the webpage real quick. HelloPillow.com. So this is my favorite kind of pillow. It's so buckwheat is sort of so it's not like feathers or anything, but it's more like these little holes. So the only way I can describe it is, you know when you eat popcorn, like the little bits of like corn shells that are left at the end. Yeah, that's what that is. And just imagine sitting on a bed of them. Now it's not particularly soft, but it's really supportive. So basically, it keeps your head at a nice angle. It's also very resistant to heat. Like you, it's really hard for it to like get like hot and sweaty. So it keeps your head cool, and yeah, that's kind of what I like in a pillow. I basically have two Hello pillows. I even added on a third. In fact, I have three. Oh my god, I have like four now. This big Hello pillow over here. I have like a half Hello pillow over there. This is just a knockoff Hello pillow, and I think this is so yeah. I basically build myself a little L shape with my pillows. Cool. Mentum, what are some of the symptoms before the actual diagnosis? So the only symptom I had of sleep apnea is was snoring. That was the only one I knew about. And then when when my friends basically insisted that I had sleep apnea, I went in thinking, no, it's not sleep apnea, it's just snoring. And boy, was I wrong. I was really wrong. Um, Arav, you asking if sleep apnea can cause you to wake up in the middle of the night constantly? Yeah, um, that is definitely a possibility. So basically, sleep apnea, for anyone who doesn't know how the disorder works, basically, whenever you're asleep, your airway, you know, how you breathe at night, basically, with sleep apnea, the airway closes up. Now, when it closes up partially, it creates the snoring sound. It's like that's sound going through the air going through a partially closed airway. When it closes up completely, then you have what's called an apnea, where you stop breathing. So you either it will seem like you're choking, you're holding your breath, and then all of a sudden you gasp for air. And this happens repeatedly throughout the night for people who have severe sleep apnea. That actually, for me, I was diagnosed with sleep apnea. Yeah, apnea means absence of breath, essentially. So when I was diagnosed, I would basically stop breathing 70 times per hour. That was my, um, yeah, that was how severe. Oh, Dami, real quick thoughts about Switch 2. I don't play my Switch 1 enough to justify it. Basically, funny enough, the only game I play on it is Overwatch, and basically, it didn't really run well on the Switch One, and it's not really making me feel like bringing it around anymore. So yeah, I basically haven't been playing my Switch. Cool. Okay, I got some other questions. Oh, I heard a question before about Matthias. Hey, just follow some. Nami, take the follow. So Matthias asks, "Can you unalive for not using mask?" No. Well, not necessarily. So the way I see it now, knowing that I was diagnosed with severe sleep apnea, not using the mask means I'm accepting that 70 times per hour I could stop breathing. Now, that's not gonna unalive me all of a sudden one night. I wouldn't just like alive just like that. But think about it. If you held your breath 70 times per hour, like just like set a timer, like every minute, go ahead and just hold your breath like have like 30 seconds, and you're basically like depriving your brain and body of oxygen. So that was basically my sleep before my diagnosis and before my treatment started. Was basically I wasn't getting restful sleep. And in terms of wake ups, yes, insomnia is one of the symptoms of sleep apnea, because when you stop breathing and you gasp for air, a lot of times that's enough to wake you up. Now, for me, um, I told you the only symptom I knew about was snoring. That's basically because I never realized what would wake me up. I would wake up randomly a lot, but I would not know why. Like I was just like, oh, well, why am I awake? And then just like lay there and then not get sleep, maybe go back to sleep. That's sort of like that's the scourge of sleep apnea. Is basically it can wake you up, and since all of it's happening while you're unconscious, a lot of it is gonna be like go under the radar. And that was for me like, yeah, people would tell me I snored, but like, um, it took a couple of friends who were really concerned about my health to tell me that I stopped breathing, and that basically, I mean, I was stubborn. I didn't want to hear them at first, but like eventually they got through to me, and I went to go see my doctor and went to get the sleep test, and confirmed I had really severe sleep apnea. Cool. Around yet another question. Yeah, yeah. So, oh yeah. So your mom's a pulmonologist, and yeah, it's definitely one of those terms that comes up, especially when talking about cardiovascular health and sleep health. All right. So thank you all for the questions. I appreciate you asking questions, being curious about sleep apnea. One of the things I'm trying to do in my lives is just really spread more sleep apnea awareness, because I spent a lot of my life not knowing what sleep apnea was, and then you know when I was confronted with the fact that I might have it, I was like, no way. I was in denial, and I kind of want to make sure people know what it is and can spot the warning signs early, because catching it early is just the, the key to like being able to treat it and like stop the damage pretty much. All right, so I'm gonna keep going with the sleep review, but if you have any more questions about sleep down, please continue to drop them in the chat. I will go ahead and answer. That dude has a question. Oh, okay. So you'll feel like you'll never get used to your CPAP machine. It feels like you're suffocating. So, that dude, I'm gonna ask you some follow-up questions. Um, and well, for first, how long have you been on the CPAP? That dude, if you want to actually, if you want, you can actually, you can have maybe a conversation. You want to come up on live? I can invite you. Up to you, that dude. 4 months? Cool. Let's see if I can- That dude, would you like to come up as a guest? You can send a guest invite if you want. I don't know if I can do that. I'll give it a shot. See if that works or not. No. Up to you. So basically, 4 months. I can tell you, I didn't. It was 2 3 years into it, and I still felt like I was never gonna like get good results out of it. I mean, I got used to it in the sense that I would diligently put it on every night, but in terms of you know, getting like good sleep, that didn't come until like last um 2 3 years, I say. Like, so now, since you're kind of still in the adjustment period, like 4 months in, I can give you some advice. Sorry, I should have a bottle of water or something because I'm like talking a lot. Basically, that dude. Um, basically, if you get the sensation that the machine is suffocating you, you should be a, you should never feel like the machine is suffocating you because it's never supposed to be at a high pressure when you're awake. So basically, how it works is the machine starts at a low pressure at the beginning of the night, and you know you're supposed to be able to fall asleep, and then when you've fallen asleep, then it ramps to a higher pressure. So if you have trouble falling asleep with the mask on, see if you can maybe adjust the ramp time. So that means it's supposed to start at a comfortable low pressure that you can easily inhale and exhale, and then when you're unconscious, that's when you're likely to have apneas. Then it's supposed to increase the pressure. So, um, that's so in that sense, if you're ever awake and you notice the machine is like suffocating you, what you want to do is stop the machine and start it again. So that's my advice for you right now. Just while you're still like getting used to it, because you should never feel like the machine is suffocating you, because you should always be unconscious when the machine's at high pressure. And if you wake up and it's blowing high pressure, and obviously that's uncomfortable, you the first instinct is probably take the mask off and fall back to sleep. Uh, what I'd say as an alternative to that is, instead, just if you wake up and it's blowing pressure, stop the machine, power it down, and start it up again. It'll start that ramp over, so that it'll start you at that comfortable pressure, and then um, increase pressure once you've fallen back asleep. So that dude, I hopefully that might be a little bit of a change in strategy for you to hopefully get used to it. Sorry if I put you on the spot earlier about coming up as a guest, but I'll answer more questions. So let's see. What if I use it during the day? No, I mean it's not really for being awake. So I would use it during the day if I took a nap, for example. But no, I wouldn't use it during the day. Kieran, what is my pressure setup? Ooh, this is a great time to talk about Oscar. Sorry. Um. Oh yeah, and that's yet a question. Ooh, that is a great question. Yeah, that's probably a power failure. Like the machine stopped. Okay, so one of the struggles I had early on was my the plug in the back of my the power plug in the back of my machine would always come loose. So sometimes that will cause the machine to turn off. And lately I've just been like, well, I got a new machine like a year and a half ago, so basically the plug is nice and secure. But yeah, if the machine ever powers off at night, try to make sure like the power is connected all in. Make sure you didn't have like a power failure overnight. All right, Kieran, you asked about my pressure settings. I can finally look at this now because I finally downloaded Oscar. Now I don't have it's still a lot of information to take in, so I'm gonna try to find that information here right now. So what's my pressure setting? My pressure is set to okay, so BiPAP. My pressure set between um 13 and 22, if those numbers make sense, Kieran. Um, yeah, I don't know what half these numbers mean from Oscar yet, so well, I don't know what like a majority of these numbers mean from Oscar. So yeah, if you're yeah, that's me too. I actually got a backup battery, Luke. Um, Kieran, would I recommend BiPAP for the average person? Now that's tricky. So when you get diagnosed with sleep apnea for the first time, you are most likely given a CPAP because it's the most affordable option, it's the most common machine they give out to new sleep apnea patients. Now, if you get good usage out of it, then this is my experience. 5 years in, they upgraded me to a BiPAP, and then that's now it's even more comfortable now. Why is it that they don't start people on BiPAP if it's so much better? I think it's just the cost of the machine. It's like if and a lot of people don't get used to CPAP, so it's I guess maybe just to weed out the people who won't be able to get like good use out of it. Um, I mean that's a really harsh way to think about it, but if you think about it, if you spend like your doctor, they and the insurance company, pocketing on the money, they'll they'll give you a they'll give you a BiPAP, and you don't use it, and then all that money is basically waste. Well, that's all profit for the insurance company. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah. Again, I'm not a doctor, so I will always preface most of my advice with talk to your sleep doctor. But really, so why? How to get? I don't know how to get on BiPAP early. Honestly, really, it's if you go out of pocket on a BiPAP, I don't see that as much better than like I don't know. I mean, it's your money. If you have a pile of money to light on fire, by all means, go try to find like a out of pocket BiPAP. But you can talk to your doctor about what your options are. And again, the U.S. healthcare system is a joke, so insert your own punchline there. Oh, Luke, you brought up the Inspire sleep implant. That is really intriguing. I probably wouldn't do it myself. I have reservations of it, but the people who come to my chat and talked about it, they have really glowing things to say about it. Basically, it's a game changer. So anyone doesn't know what the Inspire is, basically it's an implant they put right in your chest, and there's two sensors that branch out from it. One that goes to your lungs, and one that goes to your airway. And basically, it provides like light electrical stimulation, like those like muscle stimulators that you put and it, like causes your muscles to like twitch. Basically, um, that's what the Inspire does. Stadium, your dentist blame all your cavities on CPAP? What? I that's I need some. That's a leap in logic. I'm yeah. I don't know how that's possible, unless you're filling your CPAP with sugar or something. All right, Karen, you have to express your just yeah. Talk to your doctor. Let them know what's what's. I mean, so right now I'm assuming you're on CPAP and you want to obviously level up. I mean, for me, it took 5 years to basically 5 years of cutting my teeth on, well, not literally cutting my teeth, but basically like using CPAP, proving that I could get good use out of it, and then they put me in for a sleep study to like tune my BiPAP, and they said, boom, you're on it. Gave me a new machine, another machine start paying for it, obviously. Hmm. Dry mouth. That's a good point, Luke. Yeah, if your dentist is yeah. Actually, yeah, that thank you, Luke. That's very good insight. That's probably makes sense. Yeah, mouth, dry mouth, and acid. Yeah, oof. Yeah, dry mouth and sleep apnea machines kind of come hand in hand. All right, thank you all for the dialogue and thank you all for the questions. But I'm gonna keep going with the sleep view. So basically, and anyone's just joining me for the first time, I live stream my sleep apnea treatment. That's what you're seeing behind me. And basically, here on TikTok Live, I compare that live stream to my sleep tracking data. And in between, I'll answer questions about sleep apnea. So, meanwhile, so I'm going to get started. Well, it's basically at this point, I'm going to be asleep soon, so I'm going to fast forward it. So, there's a really fast version of this on my post on my TikTok. It's basically in 1 minute, but I'm just going to basically fast forward. Yes, yeah, good point, Stadium. Yeah, that was just I was just confounded by confused as to how CPAP would cause cavities, but now that you explained it, thank you so much. I appreciate your again. I try to be curious and not like ignorant, because that's basically the reason me being ignorant of sleep apnea basically doomed me to only get diagnosed in my 30s when basically I pretty positive I had it in my 20s. I had like chronic headaches in my 20s and never could explain it. And then once I treated my sleep apnea, the chronic headaches went away. Fancy that. All right, so we're asleep now. I'm go through all my different sleep postures. That's one of the things that's really exaggerated when you look at the time lapse version. I do want to look at this one moment here, 123. It said I woke up. I'm like, is that true? I sometimes get some weird readings from my Apple Watch sleep tracker. So I'm just gonna go to that real quick. Yeah, and yeah, if anyone has questions about sleep apnea, feel free to drop in the chat. Again, we're having a little bit of a dialogue about what sleep apnea is and different things, ways to get used to it. Get used to treatment. And that's, again, treatment's what you're watching behind me. Alright, so 1:23 on the clock. I want to see why it thought I was awake. And we're going to look at right about, maybe it was that turning off on my side. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm asleep, but let me see. I'm gonna turn up the audio. In fact, I'm just gonna might be a little loud. No, I'm sorry about that. Ooh, that is really loud. I can hear the sound of the hose too. Okay. All right, so there I am turning over my side. Yeah, that's why I thought I was awake for a minute. Okay, so yeah, thing is, yeah, I get a lot of weird readings from my Apple Watch every once in a while. Like right now, my watch is buried under a 20-pound weight blanket, so that may also explain a few things. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely twitching around, but I don't think I'm awake. Yeah, this is I have a hard time believing that I'm awake here, but it's possible. Oh, wait, yeah, that little motion. Let me see. Let me see how conscious I am right here. So let's see. With my hand. Yeah, that's a hand that's not really. That's okay. Hang on. All right. Okay. Maybe. Okay. So maybe I was awake. That's really strange. Okay. So what is this? Go back to my sleep tracker. So I don't know, 123 to 125. We're a little bit past that, but yeah, it is possible. I did wake up for a moment. Maybe felt that the mask got a little bit loose, and that's why I woke up and adjusted it. All right, so I'll buy that. Either way, I got 8 hours, 8 hours of sleep, so I'm not complaining. All right, so we're gonna continue on with the sleep review. So like I said, we're gonna look at the sleep. Okay, the next sleep phase coming up. Is this a really short deep sleep phase at 1:55? It's probably not even worth looking at. I'm gonna just jump to it real quick. So 1:55. Ooh, deep sleep. Yeah. So deep sleep. Basically, I'm like really relaxed, and it's like for only for like 5 minutes anyway. So that piece lasted between 6 minutes, 1:55 to 2:01. So after that, I'm gonna stop moving. Yep, or start moving. Yeah, there we go. So now we're back into a light sleep phase. That's what we're gonna see right here. Now the next phase we're gonna look forward to is REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. That's coming up at 2:40 a.m. So we're gonna jump. I'll just jump ahead. So 2:40 or 2:20. That was my weird poses I am in. Also, like, look at my fingers. Like, my fingers is like every once in a while they'll just twitch randomly. It's always fascinating to watch that. I'm actually curious how I got into this pose. Oh, actually, yeah, I did wake up. I woke up and the Apple Watch didn't detect that I actually woke up. So watch this. So this is me being awake. I must have woken up for like a brief moment. Yep. Oops. Scratching my ear. Sorry for the grossness. All right. So I wake up. I yawned, and then yeah, my eyes were open for a second, so I guess I didn't even bother looking at the clock, or did I? I no, I woke up, literally looked at my hand. Oh, is that what I did? Did I go for the vapor inhaler? Yeah, I still have kind of like a little bit of a stuffy nose, and I had like this little Vicks vapor inhaler, and right now I must have like I felt like I needed it, so I grabbed it and boom, it fell out of my hand. That's, I don't know. I did not even remember that. I must have unconsciously thought I needed it because I was like my nose is stuffy. All right, so that explains that a little bit. Okay, so we're coming up to yeah. I saw the vapor inhaler in my bed, and I'm like, how did I get there? And I must have like unconsciously tried to like reach for it, and like I don't know. I had to run that butch back in. 2:49. I go back into REM sleep. So let's or go into REM sleep. So we'll watch that. So coming up in about 14 minutes on the recording. Oh, okay, yeah. There I woke up again. Maybe did I try to use the inhaler, or did I just wake up and just? It's really weird. All right, what happened? Okay, okay. Oh, I woke up and put the eye mask back on, or no, not even. I think I just straightened it out because I didn't realize this is all like off my face. Just like watching my hey, oy vey, this is recording of myself sleeping for last night. So yeah, I'm just rewatching like key moments. Like apparently I woke up and put my eye mask back down. So and I also had a stuffy nose last night, so I grabbed like the Vicks Vapor inhaler. I didn't manage to use it. Maybe I did. I don't know. All right. So 2:49. I said I was going to be in REM sleep. No, it's not actually. So basically, the mouthpiece right there, right in the middle, that's sleep apnea treatment. So that's pressurized air coming from this hose and the machine up here, and basically that helps keep my airway open. So a person like me who has sleep apnea is prone to having my airway will close up at night and I will stop breathing. So it would be much more painful if I didn't wear the mask. I need to take my word on that. It's gonna be like one of those like Bane things, like it would be most painful for you. No, that's my Bane voice. Sorry. All right, so a little scratch, a little stretch. All right, so 5 minutes from here, we'll go ahead and in REM sleep. Now, REM stands for rapid eye movement sleep, and I just did myself a favor and pulled my eye mask down. You guys don't get to see eyes twitch around, but sometimes when I have REM while the eye mask is off, you can see my eyeballs like moving like left and right underneath my eyelids. It's really quite trippy. All right, so I'm gonna be in REM sleep between this point and 3:18. So I'm gonna fast forward to 3:18. So about a half hour of REM sleep. Now, is it allergies? Don't know. Not sure. I hope it's just something because I had the flu 3 weeks ago and I don't want to relive that because once is enough for the flu. Let's see. So, gonna so another 15 minutes of REM sleep. Yeah, I don't know why my nose is stuffy today. I should probably get one of them. Just add on my vapor inhaler close by. Alright, so REM sleep again stands for rapid eye movement sleep. So that's what physically is happening, but mentally what's happening, my brain is just like super active. It's basically coming up with dreamlike scenarios. And the reason the eyes are twitching is because your visual cortex is like participating. Alright, so that's the end of REM sleep. And sorry, my eye mask was on, so I couldn't show you the eye movements. But we're gonna have some deep sleep coming up at 3:48, so I'm gonna jump to that point. And basically, with deep sleep, the idea is not gonna have much motion. So, how long was this deep sleep? 17 minutes. So from here, no, it's not pure oxygen. It's basically just taking the ambient air in the room. Now, some people do need supplemental oxygen with their sleep apnea machine rather. So that some people they'll need oxygen, and that's when they have like other um, um, respiratory disorders on top of sleep apnea. All right, so from here to like 4:12, I'm in deep sleep, and basically the sign of deep sleep is I don't really move much around. Like I'm not gonna toss and turn much at all during deep sleep. So that's gonna stop or that's gonna last until like 4:12, I believe. Is when the deep sleep ended. Oh, someone comment. Someone comment. Yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm replying to this TikTok comment. Yeah, I'll do that later. Just be focused on my life. All right. So that, so I did manage to move a little bit. Okay, yeah, I was out of deep. So 4 or 5, I was out of deep sleep, and all of a sudden I was like moving again. So tossing and turning is something that usually happens when you're in light sleep. So anytime you're in deep sleep, you tend not to move at all. Big E, have I gone to see if I have a deviated septum? That no, that's never come up. I don't think I do. I have a stuffy nose in the moment. Maybe that's just something. But no. Basically, yeah. My sleep labs came back for severe sleep apnea, but I don't believe I have any like septum issues. Not as far as I know. I probably would need to see in like an ENT to get like a comprehensive like checkup for that, but doing pretty fine otherwise. All right. So next up, we're gonna look at we have another REM sleep phase at 4:57. Jump over to that. What happens here? 4:57. Oh, well, I'm big of a buzzkill. I pulled the blanket over my head. So 4:57, I have another REM phase for half an hour, and I'm completely under the blanket. So, oh, actually, hmm, yeah. And what's nice is with the sleep apnea mask, I can still breathe and I'm covered under the blanket because that hose is supplying me the air. So I can completely cover myself in a blanket and still breathe. That's kind of the nice thing about sleep apnea treatment. It's one of the extra benefits being able to like snorkel under a blanket. All right, so we're moving right along here. So sorry for the no shows on REM sleep, but we're gonna go till 5:31. Top off my iced tea while I'm at it. Right. I wanted to drink something that was less loud, but I decided to drink the loudest thing possible, which is like iced tea with just a little bit of ice. All right. So let's see what's coming up. All right. So I'm all covered up for the rest of my REM sleep. So I can see my eyes move, but and a lot of my past time lapses, you'll see real fast, like the eyes twitching underneath the eyelids. Pretty kind of trippy. All right, so we're out of REM sleep, and now we are in an awake phase. So apparently, I wake up around 6 a.m. I do remember this. So let's see how I woke up or what woke me up, because that's gonna be the next question in the next half hour or so. All right, some Alright, I can see the cut coming up. So this is footage from my live stream. So basically, when I know there's a cut in the footage, that means I woke up and stopped the stream and restarted it later. So we're gonna come up here, and I mean, basically, I'm under the blanket the entire time. So maybe nothing in particular woke me up, but let's see. Coming up on about the time it said I woke up. So either I woke up under the blanket, well, 5:57. Let's see, 4 minutes from now. What woke me up? Did I just like randomly wake up under the blanket? Apparently, yeah, maybe. All right, I see a noise coming up too. So let's see. Let's hope it's not an embarrassing noise, like a burp or something. Something's coming up on the recording. All right, no, pause and play. What noise is this? Yep, it was a cough. Oh boy. Uh, Slightly stuffy nose at a cough at night. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. So that basically woke me up. That just knocked me right out of sleep. So that explains this spike in awake activity. Yeah. So apparently, according to this, I was awake until 6:00. I didn't get back to sleep until 6:08. I thought. Man, that's weird. Okay, so maybe I just like stayed in bed and just like drifted in and out. Okay, yeah, yeah. Here's me actually getting up. So here's the cut. So I stopped my live stream 6:01, and I started back up 6:04. So I only spent 3 minutes out of bed. So that's pretty good. I try not to spend too much time out of bed because then basically it just makes it a little bit harder to fall back to sleep. So I'm just trying to re-ride that sleepy angle. I get to watch me like. Am I watching something on my phone? I forget. Yeah, then I drift off. Okay, cool. So I'm asleep again. 6:05. It's always weird to watch myself like fall back to sleep. So it's like conscious. Up. I'm awake again. Up. Of course I'm awake. I reach for my phone. I fall asleep for a couple minutes and I'm like, well, stuff to do on my phone. Yeah, don't keep your phone in bed, folks. That's a really bad idea. So I'm gonna drip around my phone for a few more minutes, and then we're going to see what happened. So what time did I fall back to sleep according to this? 6:14. So right, 8 minutes from now, I should be asleep for good. I don't know. Actually, it does look like I like fall asleep, wake up, use the phone, fall asleep, wake up, and repeat. It's so weird. Yeah, like I could buy that as me being asleep. So I'm thinking I'm actually asleep now. It just took me a moment to like fall back to sleep after that. All right, so now I'm back to sleep. Officially back to sleep. 6:14. I'm gonna look at the next sleep phase. So I have another deep sleep phase at 6:51. So I'll jump to that real quick. And this is the thing to know about deep sleep is 6:51. I'm basically gonna hold this pose for the entire 17 minutes. So from here to 7:08, I shouldn't move that much, if at all. Yeah, yeah. Like occasionally, my eyebrows move or something, but that's just basically like. But otherwise, my body is like basically in a really relaxed state. Yeah, see the eye mask bobbing up and down a little bit. So okay, 7:08, the deep sleep ends. So basically, I probably start tossing and turning again. Or maybe not. Oh, there you go. There's the tossing and turning. All right. So 7-Eleven. See what happens at 7-Eleven. 7. Oh, actually, at 7:17, I get REM sleep. So we actually see some rapid eye movement. So Again, rapid eye movement sleep is the sleep stage most commonly associated with dreaming. So you actually might be able to see some. Oh, pulled a blanket over myself again. All right, so I'm oh nope, I fixed it. Okay, so this time I'm gonna zoom in a little bit on my face so you actually see my eye movement. Hey, what mask do I use? This is the ResMed F30i. So it's a full face mask, but instead of like going over your nose, it cups under your nose. All right, so here is REM sleep, I believe. So we're gonna watch for eyeball movement. How do I sleep with all that? Actually, so this middle part here is treating my sleep disorder. It's called sleep apnea. Yeah, so sleep apnea is a sleep disorder which causes the airway, basically the path between the nose, mouth, and the lungs, to close up at night. Um, so when it closes up partially, a person with sleep apnea will snore. That's the most common symptom of sleep apnea. But the most dangerous and serious symptom of sleep apnea is the apnea part. Apnea means a stoppage of breathing. So when when you stop breathing, you deprive your brain and body of oxygen, and you also get very poor sleep. So that's what the mask right here is doing. It's pumping pressurized air into my nose and mouth to keep the airway open. So always make sure I have a constant supply of pressurized air. And that's basically how I can sleep with all that. And so you use the N20, so that's a nasal mask. So the F ResMed names their lines. N means nasal, F means face. So the F30i is what I'm using, and basically they'll they'll give you either a nasal or a full face mask based on how you breathe at night. For me, I'm a mouth breather, so I do most of my breathing through the mouth, so that's why they give me a full face mask. But if you happen to be diagnosed as a nose breather, that's probably why you got the N20. All right, so oh, there's some rapid eye movement, so that's what I'm looking for right now. So rapid eye movement again is the movement that happens when you're having a dream. So right now, 7:17 to 7:36, and then again. Oh, I have more, and all the way till 8:10. So okay. Oh, So you're having issues condensation mask. That I finally figured out what someone in my chat told me what the term for that is. It's called a rain out. So I get this too, but only when I'm traveling. So it depends on what part of the country or what part of the world you're in that the humidity might cause condensation inside the tube. Now, if you wake up and all of a sudden it's like just splashing water at you, and you're like, oh, well, what the hell? So what you can do is the well, the best way to get back to sleep would be to have a completely dry set of hose and mask ready to just switch in. Unfortunately, that's not feasible for a lot of people. But um, the other thing you do is if you may not be super practical for nasal mask, but what you do is you run the mask fit mode, and that blows constant pressure, and take just take the mask off your face and run the mask fit. It will just blow pressurized air. It will just blow like high pressure air, and it'll say bad fit, adjust your fit. And like, well, of course, yeah, I'm just trying to get all those water droplets out. So that is another way you can get the condensation out. But yeah, I don't know exactly what causes it. I think it's just a issue with like the relative humidity in the room. You might have to play with your humidifier settings, or maybe get like a dehumidifier or a humidifier. For like the room or something. Yeah, it only happens to me when I'm like go to a hotel room, and obviously the climate's different than at home. Yeah, rarely ever happens to me at home. All right, between 7:17 and 8:10, I'm in REM sleep. So basically I'm having a dream. So um, I don't remember about what. I've been having trouble remembering what I've been dreaming about lately. But basically, for next, I'm gonna play this in full speed. But you see like the rapid eye movement. You see the eyeballs switching left and right. It's pretty up. Now I'm a small sport and pull the eye mask up. We can still kind of actually see the eyes underneath it. Maybe I'll try to keep it in frame. Yeah, the little part of the eyes you can see, you'll see a lot of like the fluttering. The whole eye mask will jump up and down. Mikey, have I ever hate bringing? No, no. You definitely want to always bring with you whenever there's a possible overnight. But even if it's like a day trip, I mean, if you take like a day, like a flight to and from somewhere real quick, still bring it because if there's a possibility that you're stranded somewhere and you have to like stay at a hotel, you want to make sure you have your machine with you. That's kind of the thing. They give you the travel bag and everything because it's meant to go with you wherever you go. So, um, yeah, you definitely don't want to forget your CPAP. I have like AirTag on mine and everything. So, and the other thing is, FAA. Well, the rule is they're supposed to let you bring it on the plane. They can't take it. They can't like say, oh, there's no more overhead space. You have to put this in the cargo hold. Like they can't do that because it's a medical device. It needs to stay with you. So that's um, yeah, it's kind of the one of the accommodations you get for having a CPAP machine. All right, so we're gonna keep looking at this rapid eye movement thing. So another 20 minutes of so of, like dreaming. You might see the eyelids flutter a bit, but maybe not so pronounced this last part of it. So maybe oh, switch position. Yeah. Oh yeah, I can definitely see it. And move it up a little so my eyeballs better. Rewind and see that was a big left and right with the eyelid. So again, the sleep phase I'm observing right now is called rapid eye movement, and that's the might here referred to as REM sleep, and that's the sleep stage that's most commonly associated with dreaming. So next 10 minutes or so, I'm basically in REM, so I could be dreaming about who knows what, but I didn't remember it. So kind of the ways to improve your dream recall is just to have more REM sleep. Whoa, what was that? Did I actually wake up? It seems like I woke up for a moment. All right. Yeah, so I woke up and checked the time. Let's go see what that's 8:07. So, ooh, it didn't even detect that I woke up, but that so in reality, yep. So like, what happened here? So I kind of rub my eyes. And this is yeah. I look at the time. It's like basically time to wake up. I'm like, I can get a little more sleep. I think. I think that's one of my that was my logic this morning. I was like, I don't really need to get up until like 8:20 or something, or 8:30. I forget what my alarm clock was set for, but all right. So I managed to go back to sleep. I think. Let's see. Hey, Joe Three Rogers. You first notice? Yeah, that's what I what I noticed with the first. Oh, okay. I see where you go. Yeah, that was my experience as well. Like the first couple times using the machine, it's like, oh my god, this is amazing, and then you get a little underwhelmed, like yeah, 2 3 years later. That was exactly my experience. So I've been on sleep apnea treatment for 6 years. Basically, the last 3 years, I've been live streaming it, and basically, I've learned a lot just by reviewing my own sleep footage that has really informed me like try to figure out ways that the sleep apnea treatment is not working or could be working better. And to be honest, when I'm really hit a stride and I'm getting like 8 hours of sleep, like day after day after day, that's when the energy starts coming. And you know, that's not what people want to hear. Like, obviously, you want to put the sleep apnea machine on and get good sleep. Unfortunately, a lot of that good sleep is still up to you, like carving out enough time for sleep. Um, you know, get it going to sleep at the same time. You know, weekend or weekday is pretty important too. I mean, I've been traveling the last few days, so my Joe, just thank you for the follow. So I've been traveling the last few days, so my sleep consistency has been pretty bad. My energy levels have matched that. So I'm hoping this week is a little more consistent. Now that said, AC has changed my life. Yeah, 100%. My since starting treatment, my like I used to get chronic headaches in my 20s, and I had no explanation for why. And I went to doctors, I did tests, we did scans, and like, we don't know what's going on. You just get chronic headaches. Just take it easy on Tylenol, huh? And so yeah, definitely that went away. I can get oxygenated sleep, which the so and no, I didn't even know mouth taping was a thing before CPAP, so no, that wasn't an option for me. And my stance on mouth taping is I won't personally try it because it's not compatible with my treatment, and most sleep doctors will probably not advise you to mix it with my treatment. Basically, the things I've added to my treatment are the chin strap, which is sort of like mouth taping because it's trying to keep my mouth closed, but it's not a super tight chin strap. I've added noise canceling headphones to you know prevent like noises from waking me up, and the eye mask for darkness. And the eye mask is kind of a practicality because of my live stream. I live stream my treatments, so I have to have the lights on. Yeah, I know I can have light and vision cameras, but that's not really great to look at. AC, thank you for the follow. All right, so we're looking at me waking up right now. So what time did I actually stop? So I slept all the way till 8:57 apparently. So right here, I woke up for a little bit. It didn't. The Apple Watch didn't even detect that I woke up. I woke up, looked at the time, and like, okay, I can go back to sleep. So I'm back to sleep. Yeah, having some like mini rapid eye movement. Up, now, hold the blanket over my face, so we're not gonna see much more of that. But yeah, basically, it's gonna I'm gonna get all the way probably to right just before 9 o'clock, and then I wake up for good. I think well, I forget if I just woke up or if one of my alarm clocks woke me up. I forget. Oh, we'll see. I might have just woken up and just looked at the time. It's like, yeah, it's about time. Just waiting in suspense, like what wakes me up. So 8:57 I think was the wake up time or the last recorded sleep. So we're gonna see what happened there. Or alright, there's noise coming up on the stream. I'm gonna turn that up just to see. So sorry if this is loud. I just want to see if this is a noise that was noteworthy. Maybe I burped or worse. Let's go click. Please don't be something embarrassing. Okay, that could have been a fart. To be honest, I can't disagree that could have been a fart. people people have asked if I've caught myself farting on camera, and I'm like, what? How, what? What kind of question is that? And I'm like, oh, well, yeah. Now I have. I mean, it was like a little like, but who knows where it came from? Maybe on mouth or the other end. Who knows? Okay, yeah. Again, there's also random noises on the thing, but okay, so just FYI, there's not much. It's pretty consistent sound wise. So we're gonna get to the tail end of my sleep, and I just want to see how I woke up. So we're here. We're gonna be waking up in just a moment, and I just want to see what woke me up, or if I just like stirred awake. Don't tell me I farted myself awake. That would be super embarrassing and hilarious, but embarrassing. I should put that in my. Did I fart myself awake this morning? The answer is maybe. Let's see. All right, there's a noise coming up. I'll turn it up. I'll turn down the piano music so you actually hear this. So, all right, ready? Let's all hear what this noise is. Is it a fart? Is it a cough? Here it comes. Nope, just me shifting around. So I'm like, yeah, okay, that's better than a that's better than a cough and a fart. I swear, I don't think I've ever caught myself farting on stream before. I mean, it's gotta happen. I mean, I just don't ever look for it. But I'm like, I heard that pop before. And I'm like, I can't deny it. They say if you deny it, he who denied it supplied it. So there we go. All right. So it looks like I look at the clock. Hey, Jared, you had a question? You wake up with a racing heart some morning. So that is so that is possibly so what happens when a person with sleep apnea wakes up, they well, because of an apnea, they basically stop breathing for a little while. And if you hold your breath and well unconsciously, let's say it's a sensation of choking. So if you're like choking and stop breathing for a while, eventually you gasp for air and like start breathing again, and that is the when you're choking, when you stop breathing, the rest of your body kind of goes into panic mode. So that might explain the racing heart, but I don't want to necessarily paint you with the sleep apnea brush right away. I would still recommend talking to your doctor about anything, especially that if that's concerning, because that could be other things as well. Um, the main symptoms of sleep apnea you want to look out for are snoring, as well as any sign of stoppage of breathing. Now, racing heart could be a follow on effect. But for me, the only symptom of sleep apnea I had to go off on was snoring, and I was convinced I convinced myself that it was just snoring and not sleep apnea. That's why I put off getting diagnosed, and then I eventually was convinced to go to the doctor, and I was like, okay, I'll see if it's sleep apnea, and it was severe sleep apnea. All right, so um, if if you're just joining me, anyone for the first time, basically what you're watching behind me is my sleep apnea treatment. Basically, last night's sleep and hooked up to the machine, and I'm gonna go ahead and watch myself waking up. Yeah, I was discussing farting on camera, but think I don't think I don't think we're gonna do that anymore. All right, so wake up, check the time, check everything, and like, oh, it's 9 o'clock. Yeah, I gotta get up soon. I'm like, not that soon. Just narrating my internal monologue right now. So did I actually like? Nope. Yeah, my eyes are open. I'm like, all right, it's over. Show's over. Time to. Time to all right. So there's me taking off all my. Well, I took off the sleep apnea mask to stop the machine, so that stops the hissing. I get untangled from my. There's a big yawn coming. Yep. I turn over, dress my live stream. Okay, so I'm awake. So you know what awake. Well, this is what awake me looks like, but this is also what awake me looks like. And then I'm playing Pokemon Sleep. Oh yeah, by the way, I also stream my Pokemon Sleep gameplay on Twitch, so you can find me under the Pokemon Sleep category. Yeah, Pokemon Sleep is really is a pretty interesting way for me to improve my sleep health was to get lots of sleep because of I wanted to. Yes, the headphones help me because the noise of the hose and the sound of the air you'll hear it when I take it off. So I mean that's the air blowing when it's not up against my face, but it's still a noticeable hiss of air. So for me, the noise canceling headphones lets me like um it's distracting. Let's say the sound of the hose and the air is distracting. So the headphones help me ignore it. And then also, I noticed that passing trains or planes at night would actually wake me up. Like I would see on the recording, like, what's that sound? And I listen to it. It's like it's a train, and then all of a sudden I'm awake. I'm like, oh, that's what's waking me up. And like, so how do I fix that? Put these on, and I don't wake up anymore from a passing train. Yeah, trains go by at night, and it's not like a train whistle or anything, a train horn, but it's like the long sustained sound of like the like for like 2 3 minutes, and that's enough to like actually wake me up. It's weird. And also plane going by, obviously you hear the like the yeah that overnight flights will go by, and sometimes that might be a similar sound. All right. So that was my last night of sleep. So that was 8ish hours. I went into bed, fell asleep around 12:40, 12:50 ish, and woke up around 8:50 ish, and maybe spent like a few moments out of bed. I only got out of bed for a few minutes. So yeah, confident with the 8-hour number, which my sleep tracker gave me, and I don't need to round that up much at all. I didn't lose any sleep time from. All right, let's look at some percentages. Let's see. All right, so how much did my. Okay, so my sleep, I spent 3 minutes, 3% of it was awake. So that was how much time I oh, Gary, mouth taping. So for me, as someone who's been diagnosed with sleep apnea, I and on treatment, I should not mouth tape. I will not opt in. So that's why I can't endorse it because I've never tried it. So that's would be my advice too. If you're on sleep apnea treatment, don't mouth tape because could it could mess up your treatment, and you should not do anything that's extreme without talking to your sleep doctor first. You have sleep apnea, but you don't want to wear CPAP. So honestly, I don't. Okay, there's one situation where I was mixed too. If you're on a full face mask, um, don't mouth tape because because I'm a mouth breather. You given a full face mask, usually you're a mouth breather. Now, if you're on a nasal mask, which I've never been given, but one situation I would say which might be good to mouth tape is if you're on a nasal only mask, which means the plug basically goes up your nose, and then your mouth they just open or close at night. But then maybe you could incorporate mouth taping there. But big maybe talk to your sleep doctor first. Don't do it on my advisement. Again, I basically don't recommend mouth taping to anybody because it's not something I personally tried, so I can't really endorse it. All right, so let's look at some percentages. I had 20% REM sleep, so that's pretty good. 69, nice. Percent of my sleep was light sleep, and then 8% of my sleep was deep sleep. So that was some percentages right there. And go look at some more metrics. All right, sleep goal 7.5 hours. Yeah, I should like 8 hours of sleep. Pretty good. All right, my heart rate overnight 74 to 88 beats per minute. Respiratory rate 11 to 14, and wrist temperature 49. This is all from my Apple Watch. So, all right, and then we'll look at some of these other metrics. Oh, so the Apple Watch as a sleep tracker also now detects breathing disturbances, which can actually give you a warning if you have the possible signs of sleep apnea. So that's what's here. Now the reason I have sleep apnea, but it's not giving me any warnings because I'm treating my sleep apnea. So it's a little bit redundant for me to be recording my breathing disturbances. But just FYI, if you do sleep track with the Apple Watch, you might get a sleep apnea notification. That's what you should probably do with that information is bring it to your sleep doctor. All right, here's my average last 7 days. Oh, this was even just like a week and a half ago. This was 7 to 8 hours. Now I'm down to like 12, 6 hours 12 minutes. Ugh, not doing great these last few days. I've been traveling, so I have a little bit of excuse, but yeah, it hasn't been a really great few days for sleep. But this 8 hour sleep day definitely will bring that up. And then yeah, look, I mean, yeah, basically six hours has been the 6.5 hours has been the average, and then boom, 8 hours sleep. So hopefully, and keep the 8 hours coming. We'll see. I do have plans on Friday night, which might screw up my sleep for beginning of the weekend, but that's just me trying to relive my. All right, respiratory rate. All right, that's enough. Okay, here's my air score. So this is the information from my sleep apnea machine. So I've got 100, and basically here's how it breaks down from um, for usage. If I get enough usage, I get 70 points for that. If I have a good mass seal, I get 20 points. If I have under 5 events per hour, I have 5 points, and I only took the mask off once to get out of bed. That gave me 5 points. So that's how I got my 100. So that's pretty good there. And I also downloaded Oscar, but Oscar, which is a sleep apnea um, power user app. I'm looking at some of these like numbers and graphs here. I'm like, I have no idea what any of these things mean. Well, some of them. I know some of these words. It's like that Good Burger meme. Yeah, I know some of these words. So yeah, people have asked me about downloading Oscar, and I just did. So hopefully I have some more data to compare soon. But like, it basically now I can actually tell people what my pressures are. It's um 13 to 22. It's BiPAP, so it's 13 to 22 centimeters cubic centimeter. Uh, Volumetric centimeters apparently. All right, so finally have some info there. All right, thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for the 3.5K hearts. I appreciate y'all. Once again, I've been sleep apnea blogger. I've been live streaming my sleep apnea treatment for the last 3 years, and here on TikTok Live, I've been going over a recording of my sleep compared to my sleep tracking data, and also have a discussion about sleep apnea. So on that note, I will pull the last call for any questions about sleep apnea or sleep tracking or sleep in general. I can do my best. I'm not a doctor, not a sleep doctor, not a nurse or anything. I just been someone who's been treating my sleep apnea in public for 6 years. Oh, treating my sleep apnea for 6 years. For the last 3 years, I've basically been treating it on public, like live on my YouTube channel. So if you want to check out my YouTube channel, the link is in my bio above. And also you can see me playing Pokemon Sleep on Twitch. And yeah, here at TikTok Live, I have a little more of a interactive because this, like the the sleeping stream is not interactive, obviously, because I'm asleep. You're, anyone in chats is like, "Hey, wake up, hello." That's usually the only. If I ever get a message in my chat room at night, it's just like, "Hi, you are you asleep?" Mm. Lack of answer means yes. Alrighty, so I muted the mic so I can cough. Alrighty. So on that note, I am going to call that a live. Thank you all so much for joining me. Yeah, do wanna thank you for my 6 new followers and again 3.5K hearts. Appreciate you all. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. So what I'm gonna do differently tonight? Well, I'm gonna definitely shoot for 8 hours tonight. I mean, might take some cold medicine because I do have a little bit of a stuffy nose and been having a cough here and there. So maybe I should hit a little bit of that cough medicine. It might be allergies. Hopefully it's not anything worse. I already had flu a month ago, so I did not want to relive that. Alrighty, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna go ahead and call it out a live. Again, once again, I'm a sleep apnea vlogger, live streaming my sleep apnea treatment for the last 3 years. You can see all that on my TikTok and my YouTube channel. And here on TikTok Live, I basically, yeah, discuss sleep apnea and go over the footage. All right, thank you all for joining me. Have a good one, and I'll see you all later. Peace out.